It was a good show.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
When was that? It was like the end of the month? When was that?
It was May 28th.
Oh, wow, it's 2 months already. So you guys are still rehearsing or taking the summer break?
Well, I tell you, we had a show that's scheduled for the Muckenthaler Cultural Center in Fullerton, but apparently it got canceled.
Oh, okay. All right. But anyway, it was very nice. I enjoyed your quartet and everybody. It was very, it's,
Yeah, I knew you would.
it's,
I really love that group. It's really a fun group.
that's the one that Bob Friedwitz used to sing with, right?
No, he wasn't singing that.
Thank you, okay.
He was singing Westminster Chorale.
Oh, that's not the, that's not the Westminster Chorale.
No, it's the barbershop group.
Oh, okay, okay. Right, only bar, I know, thank you, okay. Everybody, Shabbat Shalom, if you're tuning into us on the live stream. A little after 6, we're live, here we are. I guess we could begin or we could wait a moment. I know we're having dinner this evening.
I have a cottage, so we need a year's cottage. We need a minion too.
Well, we'll get a minion. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, the announcements are over there.
Oh, I don't do announcements on Friday night.
It's the cottage,
What?
the mortars.
Yeah, we do that on Saturday morning.
They do it Friday nights.
No.
Martian.
No, we don't. Doesn't mean you don't say cottage, but we don't do that. Anyway, I think we'll wait just a minute to see if we can get a couple more people here. You know, with meeting at 6 o'clock in the middle of Anaheim on a Friday, sometimes it's challenging. You know, but at least it's summertime. So
What about the traffic for you?
it's not as bad as it used to be, you know, but it's not good. You know, there's always something happening on the 5 freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
How long does it take you?
Let's see, hold on. It takes me about an hour. It used to take about an hour and 10 minutes before.
You live off Crown, right?
Not about Losa, but
Okay, yeah, I know her. My friend Christine lives off Alicia. She was here for my birthday.
right, yeah, so it's pretty south. Ken Lattimore probably lives about, he's about 15 minutes closer than I am.
Yeah.
20.
So you get off at Oso, you said?
Get off at Osa, I go all the way up the hill. It's a pretty big drive, but not as bad as it used to be.
Ken's neighbors with Rabbi Mendelson,
Yeah.
right down the street.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, actually neighbor, oh, okay.
He's actually coming tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. I think so. Let me see.
It doesn't say, so. I have to show you, Susan. We have all our books from when.
Yeah, you know what, they didn't say what, rabbi is coming on this.
It's rather than this.
Wait.
I'll tell you what, let's
I
begin.
know, but I'm just saying that it's
It
just.
doesn't say, I know.
We're going to begin with Ashrei, with Mincha. And Ashrei, by the time we're done with Mincha, we'll have a couple more people here for Marav. You know, on these last Friday nights or these Friday night services, we have service and dinner. And just because someone's coming to dinner doesn't necessarily mean they intend to come to the service. So
That's the point.
we'll see. Okay, anyway, we're going to begin on page 1 for Mincha. And I think what maybe we should do this afternoon is read the Ashrei, which means happiness. Happy are they who dwell in your house. We'll read the Ashrei responsibly in English. Do something a little different we can participate in. We're on page 1, which is sort of remarkable in any kind of book to actually have the beginning on page 1. We go like this. Blessed are they who dwell in your house. They shall praise you forever.
Bless the people who are so favored. Bless the people whose God is Adonai.
A psalm of David. I glorify you, my God, my sovereign. I praise you throughout all time.
Every day do I praise you, exalting your glory forever.
Great is Adonai and praiseworthy. God's greatness exceeds definition.
One generation longs your works to another, proclaiming your mighty deeds.
They tell of your wonders and your glorious splendor. They speak of your greatness and your awesome power.
They recall your goodness, they sing of your faithfulness.
Adonai is gracious and compassionate, patient, and abounding in love.
Adonai is good to all, God's compassion embraces all.
All of your creatures shall praise you. The faithful shall continually bless you.
Recounting your glorious sovereignty, telling tales of your might.
And everyone will know of your power, the awesome radiance of your dominion.
Your sovereignty is everlasting, your dominion endures for all generations.
Adonai supports all who stumble and uplifts all who are bowed down.
The eyes of all look hopefully to you, and you provide their food in due time.
You opened your hand, your favor sustains all the living.
Adonai is just in all his ways, loving in all his deeds.
Adonai is near to all who call to God with integrity.
God fulfills the desires of those who are faithful. God hears their cry and delivers them.
Adonai preserves all who love him, while marking the wicked for destruction.
My mouth shall praise Adonai, and let all flesh praise God's name throughout all time.
We shall praise Adonai now and always. Hallelujah. Tilat Adonai edaber pi v'varech kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed v'anachnu nevarech yaha me'ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah. So let's see now. We have how many people are in the multi-purpose room? How many people are in there, Robbie? About 2 or 3?
Is there 3 in there?
Why are they shutting the door? Let me see. Okay, let's see.
But my dad's parking the car. Sure. My dad's here. Louis came in, I assisted.
Oh, Louis is here?
Louis is here.
Well, then, we just made it between Lou, Robbie, Lou's coming, partly, you know.
We have Louis out there, and Marty and Aaron and David. Yeah.
Oh, and then
Lou's here too.
Well, when he gets here. So we're going to wait a moment, then we'll do Chatzi Kaddish. When Lou comes in, we'll do Chatzi Kaddish, and then we can continue with Mincha.
I like this sign, it's really cool. You're not coming tomorrow? I'll be here, but I'll be late. I'm getting my booster shot tomorrow.
All right. Well, see you when you get here.
oh, good, we did it. David.
All right, Lou is here. Okay, we have the minion now. We're going to recite Kaddish on the bottom of page 2. Hi, David. Yikadav yikadash shemei rabbah, v'elma divrach, irutev yam nichmach, utev v'chayechad v'mechon, v'chayed achol beit Yisrael, b'agalav izman kariv yimru, Amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevarach, le'olam olamei olmayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbah v'yitramah v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal, shemei dekudishah brichlu, le'ila mikol birchata v'shirata, v'shbrachata v'nechamata, damirad v'yalma v'yimru, Amen. Now, the Mincha Amida is traditionally recited in silence, then there's a repetition like we do on Shabbat morning. But this afternoon, what we're going to do is begin the Mincha Amida together on let's do page 3b, and then we'll do the Kedusha, which is on page 4, and then we can conclude in silence this afternoon, Amida, and it concludes on page 9. So we'll begin together on page 3b and the Kedusha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Kol Melech Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avod, Mevi Goel Livnei V'neihem, L'mad Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Oser Avoged, Mashir Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai. Magin Abraham, V'ked Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chayim Eitim Atah Rav L'Hoshia, Morid Hadal, V'chagel Chayim V'chesed, V'chayim Eitim Rachamim Rabim, Somech Novlim Rofei Cholim Umadir Asurim. V'chayim Unator Lishenei Afar, Micha B'chaba Gevorot, L'mido Melach, Melach Limit V'chayeh, Matzmiach Yeshua, V'nei Madat Al-Chayot Meitim, Baruch Atah Adonai. V'chayim Meitim, page 4. Nikadesh et Shimcha Ba'olam, Kishem Shemakdishim Odal B'Shmei Marohom, Kakatu V'yad Nevi'echa, V'karazeh El Zeve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Zeva'od, Melech Ha'aretz Kivodo, L'mata Baruch Yomeru, Kivodonai, F'divrei kol shecha katuv le'mor, Im lo Adonai le'olam, lo hayach Zion l'dor v'ador, hallelujah. L'dor v'ador nagid golecha, l'netzach netzachim v'neshadacha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu, pinu le'yamor ze'olam va'ed, ki hamelech kadosh v'kadosh atah, baruch atah Adonai, El HaKadosh. All right, we conclude the mincha with Kaddish Shalem on page 10. Yikra vikra shemira ba b'yamadi v'achuti v'yamlichmachuti v'chaychon v'mechon v'chaychon b'ed Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kari v'yimru Amen Yehi shemira b'mavarach v'label me'ol ma'yah Yiparach v'shabach v'yitbah v'yidrava v'yitnaseh v'yidra v'yitala v'yidalal Shemir kudusha brichu v'hila min kol birchata v'shirata v'shirchata v'nachamata Dabiran b'alma v'yimru Tigabel Satan of the Hon of Israel, Kadamahon Vishmaya Vimru. He some Robin Shemaya Vachamalin of Akalisa Vimru. Osa Shalom Bimrama, Vuyasa Shalom Alein, Luvial called Israel. Vimerel, Amen. Aleinu, page 11. Aleinu the Shalve Alado Honago, Matig de la Yose Reji, Shelo Sanu, Haraja. Melech, Malchi HaMelachim, Nice. You may be seated. Now we're reciting Mourner's Kaddish. For those of you observing a yurt site or in mourning, this is on page 12. Yit Gadal, v'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach dirutei, v'amlich machlutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kariv v'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach, le'lam ulmei olmaya, yit barach v'yishtabach, v'yit pa'ar, v'yit romam, v'yit naseh, v'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, Shemei de Kudisha Richu, Le'ela min kol birachata v'shirata, Tushbichata v'nechemata, Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh shalom aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Please be seated. So as we conclude our Yom HaShishi, our Friday, we now usher in Shabbat, which we begin, of course, with Mariv and Kabbalat Shabbat. So I think a nice way to get sort of bridge the weekday, we say the Chol, to the Holy, Shabbat, is we'll sing a little song like this, something I know you know. Bim ba bim 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 ba bim 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 ba bim ba bim 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 ba bim 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 ba. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Let us begin on page 13, Kabbalat Shabbat, with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharit, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzidchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now we begin the several Psalms, the 6 Psalms which lead up to the Chadodi, as Kabbalat Shabbat. We'll begin on Psalm 95 with a Chuneranna. Let's do this one. Lechu neranna, lechu neranna, lechu neranna, l'Adonai. Lechu neranna, lechu neranna, lechu neranna, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, l'tzoi shenu, nikadma afanav b'toda. Naria, Naria, l'tzoi shenu, Bizmir Naria lo. Lechu neranna, lechu neranna, lechu neranna, l'Adonai. Lechu neranna, lechu neranna, lechu neranna, l'Adonai. Abayim shana, Achud bidor, v'omar am tovei v'avim v'im le'adu derachai, Hashem nishbati v'yabi, imivom el menuchati. Let's turn to page 16. Let's read Psalm 96 responsively in the English. Let's do something different. You guys take the outside, I'll take the inside. So you begin. Sing to Adonai, proclaim each day God's awesome might, announce to the world God's glory and wonders. All the gods of the nations are nothingness, but Adonai created the heavens. Acknowledge Adonai, all families of nations. Acclaim God's majestic power. Acknowledge God's glory and bring him tribute. Declare to the world, Adonai is sovereign. God has steadied the world, which stands firm and judges all nations with fairness. Let field and forest sing for joy. Adonai comes to rule the earth, to rule the world justly, the nations with faithfulness. 4 lines from the bottom of page 16. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'dagel haaretz. Yiramayam, 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 u'melach, Yiramayam, 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 u'melach. Galosa davechol hashirba, Haziranu kolatziyar, lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishbot haaretz, lishbot hevel b'tzedek, v'ami b'emunato. Now Psalm 97 on page 17, join me at the bottom, last 2 lines. U'erzaru ala zadik, u'le'yishvei le'if simcha, U'erzaru ala zadik, u'le'yishvei le'if simcha, simchu zadikim Adonai, v'hodu le'zecher kodsho. Simcha tzadikim Adonai, v'yodu l'zecher kodsho. Now we turn to page 18. Let us sing together in the middle of the page this little melody for the this psalm as such. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, zamru l'Adonai b'chinor. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, zamru l'Adonai b'chinor. B'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzot v'od v'kol shovar, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. B'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzot v'od v'kol shovar, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, zamru l'Adonai b'chinor. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. Lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishbot haaretz, lishbot hevel b'tzedek, v'ami b'meisharim. Now we turn to page 19 at the bottom of the page, Psalm 99, with the ever familiar Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Now I invite you to rise on page 20 as we sing Psalm 29 together. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Eli, Havul Adonai kavod v'oz, Havul Adonai kivod shema, Ishtachavu Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El kavod irim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'hadar, Kol Adonai shaver harazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halavadon, Vayarkidim kamo egel Levanon, V'sirion kivahov en re'imim, Kol Adonai midbar, Yachil Adonai, midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechol Elai Alon, Vechesov Yarahot, Uveheicha Halah, Kula Mer Kavod, Adonai Lamabu Yashav, Yishev Adonai, Melech Leholam, Adonai Ad Liyamoidim, Adonai Yevarech, Amav Shalom. Please be seated. We now come to the crown jewel of Kabbalat Shabbat, Lecha Dodi. And we're going to sing Lecha Dodi on pages 21 and 22 like this. Lecha Dodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabla, Shahamar Vizachar Bidibur Echad, Ishmiyanu El HaMiyuchad, Adonai Echad, Ushema Echad, Lishem Utiferet Velitehila, Lecha Dodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabla, Likrad Shabbat Lichuvenecha, Ki Mekor HaBiracha, Mehirash Mikerem Nisucha, Sof Marse B'machashava Techila, Lecha Dodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabla. Last verse. Hidoreri, Kiva Orekumi Uri, Shida Beri, Kivon Adonai Alayech Nigla Lecha Dodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabla. 22. Lo, tevo, shiva, lo, veloti, call me ma, tish dochachi, umatemi ba, echkesu ani, ye, ami venivneta, here, atila. Vechadodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabela, V'haylim Shisha, Shosayich Rachakuko, Vivalayich, Kazizalayich, Elohayich, Kimsos Chatan Al Gala, Vechadodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabela, Yamin Usmo, Tifrot Sivieta Donai, Taritzi, Hayarish, Ben Barzi, Venismecha, Nagila, Vechadodi, Likrad Gala, Pene Shabbat Nikabela. I invite you now all to rise, face the rear of the sanctuary as we welcome the Shabbat Queen. Omi Vishalo, Ateret Bala, Game Simcha, Uvitzala, Tochemune, Absegula, Bawi Chala, Lechadadi, Lekad kahala, pene Shabbat, lekabela, lechadadi, lekad kahala, pene Shabbat, lekabela. You may be seated. And we now turn to page 23 for Psalm 92. We'll sing this psalm this evening like this. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodo la'Adonai, u'lizamer le'shemcha elyon, u'lizamer le'shemcha elyon, lagid b'boker chazdecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilat, alei asur v'alei navel, Ali higayon bechinor, mizmar shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodo la'Adonai, u'lizamer le'shemcha elyon, u'lizamer le'shemcha elyon, ki simchtani Adonai b'fo'alecha, b'ma'asei yadecha ranin, Mahagalu, Mazech Adonai, Mi'al Havgul Machshivodecha, Mizmar shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodo la'Adonai, u'lizamer le'shemcha elyon, u'lizamer le'shemcha elyon. Join me 4 lines from the bottom. Tzadik Adamar Yivra Ki Erez B'Levanon Yizgeh Shetulim B'Veit Adonai B'Chatzrot Eloheinu Yah Richa ad Yenuvel Beseva Dishenim Verananim Yehu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai Turi Velo And now we'll conclude Kabbalat Shabbat with the last psalm, Psalm 93. Let's recite this on page 24 together in the Hebrew. Adonai malach geut lavesh, lavesh Adonai oz hitazar, af tikon tevel bal timot, nachon kisacha me'az, me'olam ata, nasu'un harot Adonai, nasu'un harot kolam, Yisun harot dochyam, mikolot maim rabim, adire mishpeream, adir b'marom Adonai, edotecha ne'emnu ma'od, ve'techa na'ava kodesh, Adonai, orech yamim. And now I invite those again reciting the Mourner's Kaddish to please rise at the bottom of page 24. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabah, bialma divrach dirute v'yamlich malchute, Chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed chol beit Yisrael ba'agala b'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei shemei rabah mevarach le'olam olmei olmaya yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromah v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata to Amiran bi'alma v'yimru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huyaseh shalom alinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Now I invite you all to rise and join me for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship, page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevarach. Baruch Adonai HaMevarach. Please be seated. Let us read together the paragraph on the top of page 28. Praised are you, Adonai our God, who rules the universe, your word bringing the evening dusk. You opened with wisdom the gates of dawn, designed the day with wondrous skill, set out the succession of seasons, and arranged the stars in the sky according to your will. Adonai Tzavaot, you create day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light. Eternal God, your sovereignty shall forever embrace us. Praised are you, Adonai. Each. Maviyam mehivi laila, mavdil beina muvei laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, elachai v'kayam, tamidim loch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, amari v'ravi. Page 29. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha avda, Torah u'mitzvot chugim u'mishpatim odad limadida. Aken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachleinu u'v'kumenu, Naseach b'chukecha ahavat olam, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu ve'arech yameinu v'ahem nege yomam v'layla. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha avda, Torah u'mitzvot chugim u'mishpatim otan limadita. Aken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachleinu u'v'kumenu, Naseach b'chukecha ahavat olam ve'ahavatecha al taseh mimenu li'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai. Ohev hamo Yisrael, ohev hamo Yisrael. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavda, Torah u'mitzvot chugim u'mishpatim otan limadita. Aken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachleinu u'v'kumenu, Naseach b'chukecha ahavat olam, Naseach b'chukecha ahavat olam. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yahavitza ehid Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, v'hayu advarim ha'ile, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'ribaharta bam, v'shivnecha ha'beveitecha, v'lechnecha ha'baderech, v'shachmecha u'v'kumecha, v'geshartam le'ohoda yadecha, v'yiledodav ha'od minenecha, v'chedav v'dam, Amzuzot beitecha, v'visharecha, v'hayam shmot yishmel tzata Hashem. Let's take page 32. Let's do as we used to do in the time of Rabbi Kiefer. Let's do this line by line. Some lines are long, some lines are really long. That's where it's at. We affirm the truth that Adonai alone is our God, and that we are God's people, Israel. God has maintained us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, guided us to triumph over mighty foes, and exalted our strength over all our enemies, vindicating us with miracles before Pharaoh, with signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. When God's children beheld the divine might, they sang in praise, gladly accepting God's sovereignty. Let's sing together. Micha mocha ba'ilim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Norah Tehillah, Osevele. Micha mocha ba'ilim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Norah Tehillah, Osevele. Machudecha ra'uvanecha, Bahokeayam livnei Moshe, Zeheli, Hanu ve'amiru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. V'nei Markiv Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalom yad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ra Yisrael. Let's turn to page 33. Let's read responsibly in the middle of the page. Protect us with your gift of peace by helping us to overcome temptation. Shelter us in your embrace of peace when we are caught by conflict or desire. Cherish our fragmented lives. Make our lives whole again through integrity. Protect us from ourselves when we falter. Help us to conquer the enemy within. Ufras aleinu sukkah, sukkah, shilamecha, ufras aleinu sukkah, sukkah, shilamecha, Baruch Adonai, Haparei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'yakol Amo Yisrael, V'yahayerushalayim. I invite you to rise on page 34 for Vishamru and the Chatzi Kaddish before the Amidah. V'shamiru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asad et ha-Shabbat, L'doro dabrit alav, be'eni u'v'bnei Yisrael ha'ati, li'olam geshez et yamim, asa Adonai, et hashamayim v'yed haaretz, u'vayam ha'shivi, shavad v'yinafash, yidgadav, shemei rabbah. Bialma divrach irute v'amelech machute v'chayechad v'yomechad v'chayidecha b'd Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala v'vizmagari v'imrel Yehi shmei rabba mivorach li'olam olam me'almaya Yidbarach, Yidbarach v'ishtabach, V'yidbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yidhadar v'yidhaleh v'yidhalal, Shemei l'kudeshah, L'yihila mingo b'lachata v'shirata, Tushmechata v'nechemata, Da'mihirat bi'alma v'imrel. Amen. The Ma'ariv Amida is recited in silence, pages 35A or B, through its conclusion on page 38. Let's sing together on the top of page 38. Give you a chance to rest. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Shalom Rav, ha-Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav, ha-Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. V'tov b'necha livarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol edel v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Now I invite you to rise. We turn to page 47, Vayachulu. Vayachulu hashamayim ve'haaretz chol tzivoam. Vayichol Elohim bayom hashivi melachto asher asa. Vayishabot bayom hashivi V'cha melachto asher asa. V'varech Elohim et yom hashivi. V'yigad ish adam. Ki vo shavat b'ko melachta. Ki vo shavat b'ko melachta. Asher bara, asher bara, asher bara. Elohim la'atzon. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah Ha'el Haggadah Ha'gibor v'Hanorah Eliyahu Ganei Shamayim Va'aretz Magin Avod B'Divaro Mechayim Edim B'Ma'amara Magin Avod B'Divaro Mechayim Edim B'Ma'amaro Ha'el Haggadah Shein Gamu Amaniach le'amo b'yom Shabbat Gadol b'yom Shabbat Gadol Shabbat Gadol Magin Avod b'Divaro Mechayim Edim b'Ma'amara Magin Avod b'Divaro Mechayim Edim b'Ma'amaro Kivam v'Ratzah Kivam Ratzah laniach lahem Lefanav Enavor Elefanav Navod B'Yirav Avachad V'Nodem Elishema V'Nodem Lishma B'Chol Yom Tamid V'Nodem Lishma B'Chol Yom Tamid Meyin HaBirachad V'Nodem Lishma B'Chol Yom Tamid Meyin HaBirachad Magin Avod B'Divaro Mechayim Edim b'Ma'amara Magin Avod b'Divaro Mechayim Edim b'Ma'amara Elahodad Adon HaShalom Mikadi HaShabbat Umevarech Shevim Umeniach B'Kedusha Aliyam B'Dushanei Aneg Zecher Lemazeh Vereshit Magin Avod B'Divaro Mechayim Edim b'Ma'amara Magin Avod B'Divaro Mechayim Edim b'Ma'amara. Hey! Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness, and gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts, so that we might serve you faithfully, lovingly and willingly, Adonai our God. Grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so that the people of Israel who hallow your name will always find rest on this day. Praise to you, Adonai, who hallows Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Kaddish Shalem, page 48. Yigdav Yigdav Shemei Rabbah. V'amad Yivrach V'Devam Yechok V'Devach 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 Yisrael. V'Agalav Yizban Karev V'Yimru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivora. Li'olam Olam Me'almaya. Yidbarach. Yibrav Yishtabach. Yibrav Yishtabach. Yibrav Yishtabach. Shemei Dekonishah. Yidlam Yigom Berachata V'Shirata. Shishbachata V'Achamata. Damram Lema V'Yimru. Tid Gabel Sotan Vodon Yisrael. Kadav Hanvishmaya V'Yimru. Yislam Rabbi Shemai V'Chaim Alin V'Akol Yisrael V'Yimru. Oseh Shalom Ibrama. Uyazeh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Gai Yisrael. Ve'imru. Amen. Yazeh Shalom. Yazeh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yazeh Shalom. Yazeh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. V'imrel. Now we recite Kiddush on page 49. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedushat b'mitzvot, avar atzavanu, Shabbat kodsho, b'aver azon in chiladel, זכרו למעשה בראשי, כי הוא יום תחילו מקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו בחרדה, ודנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Remain standing. You're doing a great job. On page 51 for Alinu. Alinu l'shabeach l'adon hagol, l'tik d'olad yosef b'rishit, shelo asanu k'mei ratzon, lo samadu k'mei shechot adama, shelo samchaginu kahem, v'gohar alinu k'chol ha'modam, v'adamnu korim, v'mishachavim u'modim, לפני מלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שעומדות השמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשאבי קראו בשמיים ממעל, שכינה בזו, בגדי מרומיים, הוא אלוהינו, אינו, Emes Makina, Emes Ulada, Kadatu, Vedana, Vedanayo, Vedajevana, Elivavecha, Yadonai, Hu Elohim, Bashamayim, Mima, Ve'aretz, Ve'aretz, Midavat, Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai Yimloch le'olam ba'ed, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, v'melech ha'kol ha'aretz, v'yamahu, hi'eh Adonai echad, u'shemo, Be seated. I invite those now reciting Mourner's Kaddish to join me in a moment on page 52 for the Mourner's Kaddish. I invite you to let me know who you were reciting Kaddish for this evening.
Teddy Weisbrot.
And yourself?
Bob Wilcock, always Bob Wilcock.
Bob Wilcock, that's very nice. Susan?
Sarah Stout, my grandmother.
Your grandmother, okay. Alan, are you reciting Kaddish this morning? No. Okay. This afternoon? This evening? Just going through the day. Page 52, Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba. V'yomad yivrach l'rutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayichon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagalav izman kari v'yimril amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'lam u'me'ol maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shemei Kudusha, Brechu, Leila, Minkol Birchata, Vishirata, Kishbechata, Venechamata, Damiran Bialma Vimru, Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Alinu, V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oser Shalom Bimromav, U'yaseh Shalom, Alinu, V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. You may be seated. It's nice to see all of you joining me in the sanctuary and one another for this Kabbalat Shabbat and Mincha. And in a moment, we'll retreat to the multipurpose room, enjoy our congregates there, and have a very lovely Shabbat dinner. We're going to skip announcements this evening, unless there's a protest. Okay.
I think you might want to mention, we're going to have, we have plans for Tu B'Shvat, and we have.
You mean Tisha B'Av?
Tisha B'Av, and for Sukkot.
Okay, on Tisha B'Av, there's going to be a minyan here, more of a community minyan actually. I believe it begins at 9 a.m. Tisha B'Av, I think, that's going to be Sunday, August 7th, but more on that. Erev Tisha B'Av, there'll be available to you a live stream service. It's also a community-wide event originating out of Long Beach. So we'll give you information in case any of you want to attend that personally. We're also going to have the high holidays are coming up, and the high holidays are ushered in with a service of Slichot. This year, we're going to have Slichot led by Sam Glazer, who is a very well-known composer and spiritual leader in Los Angeles. Rabbi Marcia Tilchin will also be joining us. It's going to be a very lovely service. More on that to follow. A little study, a little nosh, a little singing. That's Slichot. That's the evening of Saturday, September 17th. So you heard it here first, folks.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
What?
Oh, the shofar class, does it begin August 9th? The first shofar class is August 9th, so keep that in mind, and there'll be, shofar classes throughout August and September until the high holidays. And we really appreciate what you do, and also, of course, we can't have the high holidays without shofar blowing, so. If you think you can blow a shofar, if you've done it in the past, you want to fine-tune your skills, that's one thing I can't do, blow a shofar. At least I really don't think I can. My father used to do it, but it's nothing I really ever picked up. So kudos to those who can, and Rebecca and her father leading the shofar blowing class.
My dad's not going to do it, but he will be happy to join us sounding it. Penelope and I, 6 to 7 o'clock in the multipurpose.
Okay, so the first class, August 9th, 6 o'clock to 7, being led and guided by yours, Rebecca, and also Penelope Kiefer. So if you had an inkling to blow shofar, you just want to show up and practice. It's a place to practice your skills. Sometimes it might you might have fun, even if you're not going to blow shofar on the holidays. It's still something nice to do. We're going to conclude with Yigdal, and then we'll retreat together for dinner. Page 53. Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimtza v'yehinei el metziuto echad v'in yachid geyichudo elam b'gam mitzav le'achduto Elo demudaguf v'yehinaguf lo na'aroch elav kedushato Chadmal lechadavar asher nivra Rishon v'id reshi le'resh ito Hey no, I don't know love. Lecho nahadzar yoregedulato umachuto sheva nevuato netano ela hajese gulata v'dif lo kam Yisrael gimajot navi umabi etemunato karat temednatan liahamoel ayahanivi aneman Lo yachalifa el, velo yamir dato, ligo lahavim lizulato, sovev yodeya, sitareinu, mabilus of davar bekat mato, ramele ish chesed, kimi valo, no teler ashara, gerishato, ishlach lekez yamin, meshichinu, livdon mechagiges yeshu ato, Meiti Michael, Berov Chazdo, Baruch Adeyan, Shem Dehilato. Meiti Michael, Berov Chazdo, Baruch Adeyan, Shem Dehilato. Shabbat Shalom.